Hello, book reader friends. This is Christy with Cicatelli-Kuc Reads, and I am finally back. I tell you, the family changes can really throw you off your game. So don't ever belittle yourself if you say life is hard right now, because sometimes life is hard right now, and that is okay. And pull back when you need to pull back, and that is what I have done. I am slowly working my way back to doing videos. Thank you for being patient with me. This may be a slight bit of a meandering video. I'm going to try to keep it on track, but this is kind of an exciting one. It's a book haul, but there's some other things in this video that I can't wait to show you. And we're probably going to start out with some of those right out the gate. So let's dive in. First thing is my cute little cup that I got from Walmart, actually. I swear, I think it was less than $1, but I absolutely love it, and it's for my iced coffee. I'll try never to drink out of my cups when I'm on camera because it's so loud, the clinking sound, especially when I have to proof it. It's like, my God, turn that down. So sometimes I'll leave it in, but then I'll cut out the sound, but I will try to avoid drinking on camera. So yeah, let's dive into a pretty sizable book haul for August. So the first two things I'm going to show you are they go together. They're two leather-bound journals, and you would say, it's a book haul. Why on earth are you showing me journals? These are legacy journals that I'm going to create. They're pretty basic. I can kind of show you the inside of this one. They smell so amazing because they are leather. They did come from Barnes & Nobles. This one was like $25. The bigger one was around $60. Freaking love this pen that I bought. It is actually, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on camera with you, but it is a .2. And it is fabulous. Love it. But yeah, so basically you write about your grandparents, your parents, your children, your spouse, whatever, to whoever you want to. This one is actually lined, and you can see there's a nice flop on that for protecting. But you can write where you are in your life currently, your favorite quotes, your favorite music, your favorite books, and where you can leave it behind for others to have when you pass on. And I thought that was something great to start now, so it doesn't feel like a rushed situation or morbid, but I can also write in the decades to come where I am. And I'm very excited about this. This one was $60. This one is the one that I will probably be using as a legacy journal. The other one, I don't know what I want to use for quite yet, but I wanted them both. I couldn't decide what I wanted in the bookstore, so I bought them both. I figure I will use them, so it's okay. The next kind of random and a little off book haul-ish is the Chicago Manual of Style. This is for my tech writing program. I really want to kind of get it right, and so I went ahead and spent the money on kind of the OG rules of writing professionally and for tech writing. My husband ended up buying me that one, actually. I didn't buy that for myself. He bought that for me. And I wanted it, but it was just like, okay, I don't want to spend $60 on this book. That one did come from Amazon. And I do wish there was a professional writing manual or style guide that has templates. Okay, if you're going to write a memo, this is where your font should kind of be. Every company you're going to work for is going to have its own style guide. So you're going to use what they want you to use. However, there are, for professional writing, general rules, and it would be fantastic to have that somewhere all in one book where it's just templates and the style guide with it. Fabulous. Maybe it's something I'll work on one day. All right, so now we're actually moving into the actual nitty gritty of the book haul for the month of August. I can't believe I bought all these. Some of these are new, some of them are not. Some of them have been popular, and some of them I just bought out of emotion, if I'm being honest. The covers struck me when I was in the store, or you know what, I didn't care. I just picked it up because I wanted to. I was in an emotional mood of buying books, and so I did it. The first book, this one was on Barnes & Noble's shelf, and it's Arcana Academy. I know nothing about any of these books, really. I do want to go ahead and say that now. Most of these I literally picked up out of cover. And I think it's fascinating that, we don't admit that we do that. A lot of times we pick up books because they just look attractive on the shelf. And we know they're going to look beautiful on our shelves. And we may love it and we may not, and it doesn't matter. It's still an enjoyable time to read. Even if you're angry with reading, it struck a chord. So it's like, okay, this book might suck, but it struck a chord. That's a powerful thing that a book can do. And so I didn't mind. I was just an emotional, deep mood that needed some retail therapy with books. This one is Clara Greysword has survived the underworld of the Eclipse City through thievery, luck, and a whole lot of illegal magic. After a job gone awry, Clara is sentenced to a lifetime in prison for inking tarot cards, a rare power reserved for practitioners at the elite Arcana Academy. I really should have worn my actual reading glasses, not just my bifocals, because I can't read that well, especially when it's on black paper. You would think it'd be great because it's contrasted, but no, I still struggle. But this is book 1 of a series, and looking forward to diving into that. Again, I don't know a lot about these. I just want to express that deeply. This was a book of the month book this month. So technically this is a September purchase, but my draft goes through and I get to buy the books typically around the last 2 days of the month. So that's why I've included it in this. But this is The Alchemy of Secrets, Stephanie Garber. So very excited. She wrote, the Night Circus, I think it was, and absolutely loved that. So I'm looking forward to this one. The cover was very beautiful. The Alchemy of Secrets. Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths. Taught by a woman called Professor. Most students believe the professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you will die, the world finally makes sense, except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. So that one sounds pretty darn good. I am looking forward to this. Stephanie Garber is really fantastic with her magic writing, so I'm looking forward to this one. And I had not read any of these jackets. When I'm reading them with you, it's actually the first time I'm reading them. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I don't like reading these summaries on books because I like the surprise of the journey. Now, sometimes I do get kicked in the gut because it'll be a book I really have no interest in. The biggest thing right now that I do want to stay away from is academies, but they get in on me sometimes. I'm like, but you know, it happens. Okay, there's going to be dispute on the way I'm going to say this, but catabasis, I'm going to stick with the way I'm hearing it. I've even heard R.F. Kuang say it slightly different. And she has even expressed that they say it different depending on where she's at. Even at home, they say it a little different than when she's out doing book tours. So we're just going to go with that. Catabasis. This one's I've had on order for a while. And I did put this one on order from Amazon. Because sometimes I don't know where I'm going to be when. And so it's just nice for the book to show up, which, I mean, I can order it from Barnes & Nobles too, but I do pretty sizable book hauls. My last book haul with Barnes & Nobles was over $300. So I do give back to authors, and I don't always feel bad for going to Amazon. I know there is some dispute there, but let's dive into the summary on this one. I'm a little nervous because sometimes there's certain authors that you just love. I'm a huge fan of R.F. Kuang, especially her Poppy War. Babel was okay for me. Poppy War was a killer series for me. And I'm so scared of, because Babel was only okay. I'm so scared. I didn't read Yellowface. If you read Yellowface and you think I should read it, let me know in the comments because I'm still on the fence with that one. I'm a little nervous. So here we go. Alice Law has only ever had one goal, to become one of the brightest minds of the field of magic. And she's spelling it M-A-G-I-C-K. She has sacrificed everything to make that a reality. Her pride, her health, her love life, and most definitely her sanity. All to work with Professor Jacob Grimes at Cambridge. It's funny, this will be the second book that refers to professors when I just said I didn't want to deal with academies. He is the greatest magician in the world. That is until he dies in a magical accident that could possibly be her fault. That does sound good. I am nervous, but I will say the book is absolutely gorgeous. The paper is nice and soft, and pages are just freaking gorgeous. I do look forward to learning what those mean. I'm trying to be very careful. I don't want to mess it up because I was very excited and waited for a very long time for that book to get here. All right, this is not a new one. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I had to read it so I would not stutter through that. From Matt Dinneman. I went ahead and purchased this one. This is not new to you guys, but it is new to me. My husband has read it. I think he's, want to say book 5. Could be a little off on that. I have learned a lot of his action-packed books I really do enjoy. So I did just order Gideon of the Ninth as well. But I'm looking forward to starting this. I will tell you one thing I have done, and that's I've listened to the first chapter in audiobook. Everyone is correct. The audiobook is spectacular. My husband has already read, like I said, he's either book 4 or book 5. And I said, go ahead and listen to book 1 if you need a laugh. And he is loving it. I have been on an audiobook tear for 2025. It's just what's worked in my life, and I'm not going to feel guilty for it. I did it first. I used to believe that if you're listening to audiobooks that, you're not really reading. And it dawned on me one day when I was listening to a book, this author is really reading this slower than what I can read it. So I'm probably spending more time in this book. Yeah, I could speed it up. It's rare that I do. There's even one book recently that I was listening to. I actually had to take it below a 1. I had to take it down to, I think it was a 0.95. It was just so fast. So I had to slow it down a little bit so I could catch it and pay attention. It was amazingly fast. Can't remember what it was. But yeah, I do believe that audiobooks are absolutely a equivalent to reading. And sometimes you may spend more time in that book because you're actually catching everything. If you're paying attention, there are some books that I will zone out. The Blade itself right now I'm listening to, and I'm like, while the audiobook is 100% a 5-star, I have done a disservice because I've zoned out. There's just too much going on right now. This is going to probably be another month. August and September probably going to just be bad reading months for me. And that really sucks. July was so amazing. But it's one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and do this video, because it does help get me re-excited. I'm going to read a little bit of the jacket on this one. It's not like you don't know about this book. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with her prize-winning show cat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion, the destruction of all man-made structures on Earth, and the systematic exploration of all survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show. That's all I need to say. It sounds action-packed and crazy. And that might be more of what I need. I'm listening to a lot of books that are really huge stories unfolding. And I'm finding that I'm like just out in Never Never Land when I'm listening, trying to get everything done in the house, so to speak, or at school. All right, the next one on my list. This one is new. I've been looking at this one, the Poppy Fields, because we have a Barnes & Noble's in our school, and this one actually has some legit sections of books, not just school books. My old school, UNCW, they didn't have any fiction, nonfiction books. They only had school books. So it's fascinating to go in there and actually just browse the books when you're a little bit bored between classes. And I've been looking at this one there, but during the book haul sale for Barnes & Noble's, this one was 50% off. So I bought it when I was there the other day. I'm wanting to read it, but I will say this is a serious topic, I think. And so I'm going to probably put this one off for a little while just because my mood, I don't think, can handle it. Here we go. So welcome to the Poppy Fields, where there's hope for even the most battered hearts to heal. Here in a remote stretch of California desert lies a controversial and experimental treatment center that allows those suffering from heartache of loss to sleep through the pain and keep on sleeping. I'm just going to stop there because that is enough to tell you this is a deep story. This is going to be emotional. And I am suffering a bit of loss currently, and I don't want to put myself there. However, I do think this is going to be a wonderful book, and I'm sure some of you want to know that it's even out there. It is beautiful. Like I said, Barnes & Noble was running it on their book haul 50% off. I do not know if that sale is still going when this posts, but either way, it is at Barnes & Noble's. It is $32. I'm looking forward to it. It's just not a right now book. Okay, another book I got while I was in Barnes & Noble's. This is a new book. This one was not on sale, but something about the cover kept calling me, and I really just couldn't help it. I just went ahead. Again, I was emotional. It's okay. Sometimes we have to, heal the way we have to heal. Warrior Princess Assassin. Okay, I will tell you, I love a fantastic female assassin story. I am in love with it. I'm engrossed with it. Sarah J. Maas has that one series. I can't think of a single another one on my shelves right now. Poppy War kind of has that in it. I am just a sucker for a good assassin. So I'll be honest, not just the cover, but also the title on this one got me. And I don't think I have any peach books. I guess on camera this may look more pink, and it kind of is a baby pink, but it has a peach coloring to it. And I just fell in love with it. I don't really, and it might make sense when I start reading it, or maybe it was just what they wanted to do with the end pages. I don't really understand that. I don't get it. It felt half-hearted, but that's okay. Doesn't mean the book won't be fantastic or fun. And it is very, very beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what this one's about, because again, I don't know. I didn't read these. I'm reading them for the first time with you. Warrior, Cicatelli-Kuc. I'm so sorry if I botched that. I'm sure I did. Fire magic has earned him a ruthless reputation on the battlefield, but now his land is slowly burning. Kai's only chance, Kai is them abbreviating that last name, so maybe I'm not the only one that won't be able to say it. Only chance to save his people is to enter a marriage alliance with a neighboring nation of Astranza and hope that their royal family power to manipulate the weather will help his kingdom flourish once more. This sounds so bad. Just needs to ensure no one finds out how this blaze began. That's the warrior summary. All right, princess. With enemies advancing in Astranza, we're just going to go with it. Princess Jory's home, is Jorys, home needs the protection of the fearsome warrior king, but she is hiding a dangerous secret. We're going to stop there on her. Okay, we can see the connection happening. Okay, now we're going to go into the Assassin's summary. This one's a little bit of a mouthful. I've done several takes on just the Assassin's summary. Asher's done what he must to survive, even if that means getting his hands dirty. Once a young nobleman in Astranza's palace, where he and Jory caused mischief together, now he's part of the Hunters Guild, employing much darker skills when a lucrative job comes his way. All right. So I can see the triangle already just because of the summary. So I guess I would say this is going to be kind of a high stakes romantasy. We can see if I'm right about this once we get into reading it. But it does sound like it's potentially going to be awful. And sometimes those books are needed, because I tell you, when you're reading such serious or epic style fantasies, these breaks in pace are really nice, especially when you're reading so many books that are so similar. Books like that are just fun at times. Okay, another one that I got this weekend. It is not new, but it was on sale. And oddly, it's an Orbit book I don't own, but it is a very popular book series, and I wanted to hop on it. The Shadow of What Was Lost, book 1. It was on the buy one, get one 50. So it was Barnes & Noble's this month's pick. And I am so excited to get on this one. I don't know anything about the series. I just know I've seen like book tubers like Elliot Brooks talking about it so many times, which is kind of why I'm shocked I don't own it, because normally, especially if Elliot Brooks recommends it even a little bit, I will hop on it and go ahead and buy it. But yeah, this one is going to be a chunker. It is almost 700 pages, you guys. Oh my God. Like, I have nothing else to do. I wish I need to go back on my shelves and count. There's 4 shelves here. You can't see the ones that are over here, but I need to go through and just count what's on my physical TBR. I really need to go on a book buying ban, but I'll be honest, this was 1 month that I do not mind that I did this, and I'm very thankful I did. It was fun, and I had a good time that day too. I even got a strawberry cheesecake while I was there, and they put chocolate syrup across that. It was so beautiful and just decadent to the senses. I absolutely fell in love with that cheesecake, and I want more. Another book it's new-ish. I want to say in the last, we're going to go ahead and look because I don't remember. I'm going to say in the last 2 or 3 months that this came out. Copyright 2025, July. So it's been out for about 2 months now. But The Red Rabbit Ghost I'll be honest, it was the cover that gripped me. I saw it on Orbit's, excuse me, was this one? Yeah. I saw it on their stories. So I went ahead and I absolutely am excited for this one as well. 18 years ago, an infant Jesse Calloway was found wailing on the bank of a river, his mother dead beside him. Ooh. The mystery of her death was haunted him all his life, and despite every effort, he has never been able to uncover the truth. So that actually sounds like a mystery too. So I'm very excited, which explains why this is, I think, one of Orbit's sister companies run for it. I apologize if I don't have accurate information on that, but I think I'm right on that. I'm not 100% sure. This cover just really looked so cool. But I guess you could kind of argue that this kind of looks like a T. Kingfisher cover too, but I love it. I love the colors. They were so pretty. This one, 2025, we know that August. So this one is very new. Bone Raiders. This is an Elliot Brooks recommendation. So I went ahead and picked it up, or at least she talked about it in one of her videos. I can't remember how she was saying she felt about it, to be honest with you. I think I was doing homework when watching this. One thing I love about Orbit Books is the freaking pricing on their paperbacks. I think they have gone to $21, $22 on some, but this one is $19.99, and that's very common for Orbit Books. I absolutely adore them for that. And it's another reason why I don't mind buying them in paperback. What's funny is I don't know how long my husband and I have been huge Orbit fans. We didn't realize they made any hardbacks because we always end up with the paperbacks of books. And it's just been coincidental. I do have some hardbacks now, but when we originally started just like going on a crazy binge of Orbit books, we thought they only made paperback. But let's see. You don't mess with, oh my God, I should have looked at the names of these first. But I was trying to do this with you. You don't mess with Rakada, Rakada. The people living in the grasslands of the tapestry call them Bone Raiders, from their charming habit of displaying the bones of those they kill on the horses and armor. But being a raider is tough these days. There's a new great Khan in the tapestry. He's had it with the raider clans and the plans to use his sizable military to do something about it. And then there are the Artarian, hope I'm saying that right, fire-breathing lizards the size of elephants, roaming the grasslands in the search of dwindling food supplies. Which you can see that right here. I absolutely fell in love with the cover just because of the badass looking women. And then there was a fire-breathing lizard. They don't call it a dragon, they call it a lizard. So looking forward to a little more story behind that. I think it's going to be an intense, fun ride. I pray that this one really does hold up. Another book that's not new, but I have been craving a little bit of depth to my reading. Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. This is Chris and Mads. I don't know if you follow them on YouTube, but this was kind of one of their suggestions. They did, I think, a family read of Pride and Prejudice for their Patreon, and I absolutely am here for coming down the road of classics. I haven't read any classics, which is really odd for the fact I'm in a writing degree, so you would think I would read more classics when I was in creative writing. Now that I'm in tech writing, we don't get this pleasure. We get to read very boring books. But I'm looking forward to Pride and Prejudice. I don't think I need to go over the summary of this one, but my stack is getting huge and I'm really worried it's going to fall. It's going to be loud if it does. Another book I picked up. This book I picked up clearly, strictly only because it was on the counter when I bought my strawberry cheesecake, and they're $5 when you buy something at the cafe. It can be anything. So I always, not always, that's too absolute, but a lot of the times I will go ahead and pick up the books. And I figure $5, I can give it away as a gift. I can give it away free. I can put it in a box and make someone's day. I can read it, love it, and enjoy it. Pumpkin spice and everything nice. We have another pumpkin book out right now that came out either earlier this year or late last year. I don't remember. It screams fall. And so I went ahead, $5, it can't go wrong. And could you imagine opening one of the tiny book boxes around the fall time and this book is just sitting there? I just thought that was kind of dope. I know this year I want to also buy some kids' books and just kind of fill those throughout the community. I think that sounds like a fun idea, and I highly recommend doing that because it'll just make you feel good. And you don't get to see someone open that box and see these awesome books in there, but you know you did it and you just feel really good about yourself. Okay, another book that is not new. I used to tease my daughter all the time that I was going to buy this book for her, and we were both like, no, we're not really ever going to read that book. I've decided to read it just because I wanted to go ahead and just see what the hype was about it. And when I say hype loosely, there was a lot of negative publicity about this book, a lot of people that seemed to love it, and a lot of people were just like, "My God, no." So I decided I'm going to read it anyway. And that's Credence by Penelope Douglas. The sticker, I haven't taken the stickers off yet. You'd think I would be more excited to get my stickers off my books. This one was $18.99. I was kind of surprised it was still up there in price, but it was on the Barnes & Noble's picks. So buy one, get one 50, which is how I did the buy one, get one 50 for the other book too. There's definitely some boundaries being stretched. That's all I'm going to say there. We are not far in this book. I think maybe 20 or 30%. So nothing intense has happened, but we're getting there. You know, it's one of those books that I just want to see what the talk is about. I don't think I'll do a review on it. I might do a written review, but I probably won't do like a video review. The next book is by Callie Hart, Quicksilver. This is not new. The edition is new and it is gorgeous. I have not read it. It's been out, I want to say, since 2024. I could be wrong on that. But it is just so gorgeous that I went ahead and bought it. Again, it was another emotional purchase. It drew me in with just how gorgeous the cover was. And because winter is coming, there's a snowflake there. So I'm hoping it fits into the fall-winter season really well. This was gorgeous. The end pages. And of course, you know, the next one is going to be a male. So we know this is going to have some romantasy, probably all romantasy. I think I already knew that about Quicksilver. I myself have not done any video or like watched any videos with the reviews on this one, so I don't know how well it has done. If you've read it in the comments without spoilers, let me know what you thought of it. I am nervous, but it was a beautiful book, so I just went ahead. No one knows about the strange power she possesses or the fact that she has been picking pockets and stealing from underlying queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. Okay, I like a heist style book as well. Ren in the Holly Library was that. I love book one, not book two. But with that said, love, again, that assassins, the women that are thieves, just the women that are playing these roles that you don't normally expect them to be playing or being in. I am here for it. I love these. They just draw me in so hard. And knowing that she is picking pockets and stealing just makes me happy. And then the cover is absolutely stunning. It is really pretty. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I've seen the cover around a lot when it was the paperback, I think the paperback edition, but it never drew me in the way the hardback did. But you guys, this is quick-ish book haul that I wanted to share with you and go through the summaries. I hope you enjoyed it. It's definitely a different style for me. I haven't done a book haul this size in about a year. So I had a good time and I hope that you did too. I hope you enjoy your month of reading in September and through the fall and winter. And we will be seeing each other again very soon to talk about books a little more. Bye.